Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm going to keep pretty brief, and it's going to be about what I do when my sobriety isn't the strongest, what it's like to be unsure of whether I can stay sober, what I do to get myself out of that feeling and through it. So if that interests you, please keep watching. I really hope this does help people that are going through their sober journey, or people that have friends that are going through their sober journey. In my opinion, no matter how long you've been sober, 5, 10, 30 years, sobriety is still not an 100% sure thing. So please keep watching. If you have questions, please comment below. Don't hesitate to email me. My email is stillsober.ct@gmail.com. Okay, so my last instance of where I wasn't very confident in my sobriety actually was yesterday, Halloween. And what it feels like a complete loss of control, which whether you're sober or not, you know what that feels like. The unknown thing, unless you are an alcoholic, is this kind of unknown is definitely frightening because the thought of just drinking again and having to fight my way out of that to become sober and then stay sober is so, it makes me shake just thinking about the idea that it can happen. And that alone is a big factor of how I've been able to stay sober so long. Because I know 100% for a fact I will never want to be not sober. I will always want to be sober. So if that relapses me, so if that means I relapse and then become sober again, whatever it is, I know I need to stay sober. So last night, what kind of triggered it wasn't exactly me being with my friends. I've been with my friends out to dinner. Everyone's been drinking. Heck, I made it through New Year's where everyone was shooting shots all night and I was completely fine. What it was more of seeing other people drinking and partying, and what that did to me mentally is bring me back down memory lane of all the fun times I had downtown drinking with friends at friends' parties. And then what helped me get out of it was reminding myself, yes, those were great times, but who were those people I was with? I started thinking about who they were. If I said hi, they'd all say hi now, but I have no friendship with 99.9% of them. So why am I trying to relive those memories with people that I no longer have in my life? And it was a lot of a mental game for me, thinking, okay, I remember the feeling of happiness and joy and euphoria in those moments, but how substantial were those moments? What quality did I get from those moments with those people? So I was watching some people partying, and I just had to shut off my phone, put it away, just do my thing, and I essentially slept it off. But typically, that's not what I do. Typically, what happens when I have these weaker moments, I don't actually want to say weaker, I want to say unstable moments. Because when I say weaker, it makes it seem like something's wrong with me. I have a weakness. There's something I need to fix in myself. And that's not the case. Let me say unstable, because just because an alcoholic thinks about drinking or wants to start drinking again does not mean we've trashed our whole progress. Does not mean that we're weaker in any way, in any sense of it. So my unstable alcohol moments usually result in me doing one of two things. One, reaching out to my friends to get me out of the house, to get me with people where I literally cannot drink. If I were to drink or try to drink with any of my friends, they would throw the drink out of my hand. They would literally slap the cup or the bottle out of my hand. The second thing is kind of like a group of things, and that's a lot of the inner focused activities that I've done over the years. So go to yoga. I would sign up for a class and go to yoga. I would sit in my meditation space, which is why I'm here today. and kind of just let myself acknowledge the thoughts and the feelings I'm having about alcohol and let my body sit. Let those thoughts come in, move out, and open up space for the positive, happy thoughts that I've grown to become a usual for me. Other options would be crafting. I'm a massive crafter, especially now that I have a Cricut machine. I've made cards, vinyls, a whole bunch of things. And then, as one of my past videos, if you've seen it, do a little bit more with my plants. Maybe repot some, spend time looking at each individual stem and leaf of my over 20 something plants, or play with my geckos. My geckos are a nightly activity, so that's never going to be, removed, but maybe spending a little extra time with them. So the big thing that's so important with the first thing, being able to reach out to my friends, is not as a sign of reliance on other people, but more of a sign of what I've been able to do over the years, and that's eliminate the negative, toxic, just people that don't add anything to the life I'm trying to live, to the goal that I'm trying to achieve of staying sober. And I think that's the biggest thing for us to do, just as people in general, is why are we surrounding ourselves with toxic people? A lot of, TED Talks or podcasts you hear from business people is surround yourself with successful people, surround yourself with people that are in the position you want to be in. And there's a lot of validity to that, because you're surrounding yourself with a certain type of person. Their behaviors, their thought process, their mannerisms, you start to, even unconsciously, take onto yourself. And if you're surrounding yourself with toxic people that are, in my scenario, drinking all the time, getting trashed, like going tailgating, drinking every meal, every time they go out, and like the excessive amount of drinking would not benefit me in any way. Because even if though I can at that moment stay away from alcohol and not order a drink at dinner or whatever it is, I'm seeing the substance that is a problem for me. I'm seeing their reaction and how their attitude and personality changes because of that substance. And I'm not able to create a more meaningful relationship with that person if their brain and their mind is not in that moment. So, if it's your drug is one of the harder drugs, or is just like me, alcohol, or maybe food or shopping, those can be drugs to people. Surround yourself with people that are aware of your relationship with those things and will keep you away from, or don't have those negative tendencies that you do, to keep you on the right path. And it sounds like, oh, it's so easy, let's just dump these people and make new friends. It's not easy. It's really not easy. And it's going to take a lot internally for you to be alone, which I know a lot of people are not okay with. I'm definitely not okay with that. But it's something that's vital to your success to get away from whatever negative thing you're dealing with. So when I became sober from alcohol, when I became sober from alcohol, I dismissed myself from about 98% of my friend group. So let's say I had, a bunch of friends. I now have like 3 or 4 from that original friend group. Now I have a total of like maybe 10 friends that I can say are really my friends. And that's actually fine. Having 10 really good, or having a small number of really good friends that get you can be whoever you are at any time with them, is so much better than 50, 60 friends that don't know a damn thing about you, that know nothing about your family. What are your interests outside of like going to the bar? So over the last 3 years, I'll say, that was a big thing that I did. along with acknowledging that my social interactions were going to drastically be different. So no more, yeah, let's go get shots or let's go get drinks after work. It was, hey, what are you doing Saturday? Let's have game night. So then the second part is it's what you do in the times that you're not with your friends. It's what do you do to fulfill what this is. Like, what do I do in my time alone to fulfill what makes me me? And that's generally being positive and kind to everybody I meet. I'm human, so I have instances where I still drive and scream at the driver that just cut me off, but then I quickly snap out of it. And I realize, okay, what's the point of getting worked up on something that you can't undo and can't change? And so I just, for the most part, everybody that I meet, even if, I get cut off by them, or if they bump into me in the store and don't say I'm sorry or anything, I'm just like, okay. So, you don't want to say anything? All right, let me keep going. And sometimes I even just say sorry myself, even though I didn't do anything, to kind of make them think like, why did she say sorry? Oh, shit, I was rude. But, so I think a lot of my emotional growth and change, which isn't done, by far, it's so far from being done, came a lot from finding those activities. Okay, so the very first thing, which was really hard for me to do, was meditation. And why it's hard is because we're always on the go. Our mind's always running about the 1,000 things that we need to do. And I was able to, and what meditation does, it allows you to settle. So if you think about like a fish tank of water with sand on the bottom, and you put your hand in and you mix it, and how the sand just comes up, right? That's on a day-to-day. The sand is all mixed up in the water and it's moving. But when you meditate, you allow all that sand to finally settle, and you're able to see what comes in. The thoughts, the things that you need to do. And a lot of the meditation practice is acknowledging these things coming in and letting them go, instead of holding them on or focusing so much on every single detail of that activity you need to do after you meditate. And then I obviously wanted to do more with my personal growth, so I added yoga, one, to also be active, but two, to really tune in on myself and what my body needed and what it was telling me. Being drunk all the time, I literally ignored everything my body was telling me. And then obviously hobbies like crafting, plants, taking care of my gecko babies are just what I've mentioned before, of taking chaos, like all the different colors of papers, of these different things, all these other plants that are either doing well, need to be repotted, need to be watered, and taking all this chaos and bringing it together into something complete. So that's how I battle my sobriety and the moments where I question my sobriety by myself, for the most part. And I feel like, as hard as it may be, everyone is 100% capable of getting to that point. I was lucky to have good friends within the mix of like pretty much acquaintances to help me stay on track. And I know that's not a luxury that everybody has. And a big reason why I'm doing this channel. It might sound like I'm rambling or like, what the heck is this lady talking about? But what it comes down to is it's a really, really hard thing to decide. I want to be sober, because a lot of things come with that. So please, if you have questions, if you're not even on your sober journey or want to be sober but just want to have a conversation, I love the back and forth. So message me below, leave a comment, email me. So leave a comment below, shoot me an email, whatever it is. I want to have that conversation with you. Anyways, hope you guys had a great weekend. Have a wonderful week ahead. Let me know if you guys ever need anything, and see you guys next video. Bye.